nothing.
Dr. Z, how do we get asshole?
Well, you know what? Patrice is not helping. He's getting guys less pussy more.
Yeah, but of course.
Because this kind of approach is going to turn women off. But that's what this is for
million of you.
This is for
you
angry
fucked 100 guys. Did they all do the same thing to get you? They were all men. You didn't fuck some guys on the first night?
Well, they all had to qualify.
Of course.
Exactly.
They had to imply all their hard work to get your twat.
No,
not
at all.
They did.
But they had to offer me some value, some interest.
Indeed.
Something. They didn't come up to me and say, "Let me fuck you."
Of course.
Well, yeah.
But what did they do? Dinner, movie?
Oh boy, we're not gonna find out
not necessarily
about
that.
I mean, I am just wanting to hear.
Sorry,
I just need to know.
Let me.
All weekend we've got. We're gonna.
I enjoy the Patrice angle.
You know, Patrice.
I'm listening.
All right, just listen for a minute. You're losing your mind.
Fucking cut people, but this is horseshit. This is more vaginal horse.
Well, let me listen to you. No, I want to hear Patrice's approach. I want to hear his approach.
No, talk us through.
What is his recommendation for scoring
Will you
with
get
women?
us some asshole now?
Because right now, all he gave us is how not to get any pussy and why pussy means nothing. I want to know his approach. What is his advice to a guy to score with a woman? Here is a woman in a bar. How do you score with her? I want to know.
I don't have
right now.
Well,
exactly. You don't have advice. All you have is angry bitch and complain.
We'll go back to the
It's
asshole.
just angry bullshit. That's all it is.
There you go. That's the real shit. There you go. I like that. That's what I want. The real shit. Your emotional horseshit.
Right. It's just the girl is being emotional and is not saying anything logical. Now, of course, as a man, if you want to get laid, you have to compete. You have to provide value. Yes, that is without a doubt. But to do what the fish says is not going to get you laid. Don't do what the fish says. Do what the fisherman says.
That's what you want. Emotional
Where's that emotional?
You are in your vagina.
I am very calm. You are getting emotional.
Because I take it very seriously.
You're the one who's getting very emotional.
You qualified your shithole. Women that give up their shithole as less better than you, because all you do is fuck 100 guys with your pussy, but you're very careful with your shithole.
Close. We were this
close. The shithole is less important. You know how you get the asshole? You eat the pussy, lick the asshole, and it feels good. Then you put a finger in it, and then the bitch wants to do something. Want to know how you pee on your girl? In the shower. Want to know how to get her to suck your dick? Slap her in the face with it. This is what's wrong with you. You direct too many of your movies. Open up. That's what the fuck you do.
All right. Well, I guess
fuck you don't know. You're the fucky. How you gonna tell me how to fuck you?
We actually
you get fucked.
We haven't. So the question has been answered, Dr. Z, and thank you for coming in today.
Dr. Z, do you agree with Patrice's approach on the asshole?
Patrice.
Yeah, so Patrice is saying you don't know what it is that you want because you've never had to actually do the things. Like, you've never had to try to get a girl into bed. You've never had to do it. You've never had to have bedroom fun with a girl. Right? Unless you were, maybe showing off to guys or whatever. And because of that, you don't know what needs to be done in order to seduce a girl or to get her to do what you want her to do. You don't know how because you've never had to do it. And I'm inclined to agree with what Patrice is saying. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. New to the channel, liking the content, hit that sub, hit all for notifications. Go to my Patreon and subscribe, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Again, it's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Drop me a donation, like Hunter M, Adrian R, Tom M, shoutouts to them. Link is in the description. Let's continue.
Patrice's book is considerably shorter than yours.
Yeah.
It's more of a pamphlet.
Right.
Yeah, I would see that.
Would you agree with that as far as how to get the asshole?
No.
No? Well, how do you get the asshole?
Well, then you'll just
Virtue signaling. Let's see.
have to read my book.
No.
Wow.
Don't cop out.
Okay.
Well, what
Let's see what's how to get
Here's what I want to know. So it's while he's reading, I think we've got about 20 seconds before he starts yelling at you again.
Yeah, talking about emotional.
So
Yeah, get emotional because when do guys get to be? When do we get to be fucking emotional?
We want you to be
about
emotional.
how
We want
False.
you to
much
express
losers
it,
you
talk.
guys are. You are fucking losers trying to make a. Here's what you're trying to do: have a man and have a woman at the fucking same time. We're men. We're better than you.
We want a guy. We don't want a woman. We don't want a wussy guy.
Yeah,
we don't want
a
that.
non-wussy guy's better than you.
True.
if you had 2 days to have anal sex, how would you do that?
Oh, very
and can
good,
you
TJ.
do it?
Thank
Can you
you.
do it in about 20 seconds
Yes.
before Patrice goes back into?
Yeah, you got 20 seconds to get us some asshole this
because
weekend.
you know
Please.
you said you talk about doing things quickly in the book. You're gonna have to do it quickly on this show.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Here we go.
I'm asking you.
It has to do with conditioning. So basically, you have to condition things that she likes, and most women like clitoral stimulation,
Okay.
with anal stimulation. So what you do is you pair. It's a Pavlovian conditioning.
Oh,
you pair
that's
one
actually-
response
So you
with
give
the
them some
other.
food when you're licking their clit. Is that right?
No.
Ring the bell, they salivate,
Ring the
you shove
bell.
your dick in their mouth.
You,
There it is. Come on. Pavlov's dog, here
yeah,
here
you
it comes.
basically.
No, that actually is true. That will actually work. That will work.
And
Get
here's
some peanut butter,
our-
You
rub it on
go
your
down
balls.
on her while stimulating her, and you pair the two responses.
You pair them together.
True.
Yeah,
You
and so
condition
the
her
things
to,
that she
you
likes.
condition her to know that she doesn't really have a choice in what you like sexually. Do you understand? It trickles down from you. They don't know. The only
So
thing
you're
they
saying
know.
you're saying you can get a woman to do anything you want.
Anything. You
if
don't
just-
negotiate
if you
with 'em.
tell that. So this is actually interesting because it sounds like you guys are saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's
They all
what I'm
say the
saying
same
too.
Patrice is,
I think
is
you're
a
on the
little-
same page.
Oh,
Patrice.
yeah,
Patrice, I think you.
Right there. I see. Of course. Go
By
ahead.
sticking your dick in,
No, I didn't
the
say
first
that.
time you
I didn't
meet
say
her-
that. I didn't say that. But why shouldn't you fuck her in the ass the first time as opposed to the pussy the first time? What's I don't get it.
Good question, doctor.
why? Because most women
I thought
are
Ann went to
defensive
Cleveland.
about that, and most women are uncomfortable
And you
with
know
that.
why?
here.
Most women? Because you make up your own movie that stars you, stars you as me, stars you as the director, you're the producer.
No.
Stop doing, they don't know what they like. Anytime you fuck a girl,
Most women-
anytime you fuck a girl and she tells you what she likes, that means she likes it because some other dude did it. And she goes, oh, I like that. But you don't have an explorative mind where you go, you know what? I wonder what it's like. If it wasn't for the fact a guy tried to fuck you in your ass, you wouldn't go, boy, I want to get fucked in my ass. We bring everything to you. Your whole idea is based on you want to be a man. You think like a man because thinking like a woman is so fucking awful. That's why you think like a man.
Well, so why you never answer
I don't know about this, but okay.
my question? Why majority
What-
of transvestites and transsexuals?
Your question. How about the 17
You never
questions
answered
you
them.
didn't fucking answer?
Oh, you
yet?
know, you didn't even ask me any question. This is a monologue.
10 hours they've been
session.
asking you how to
This
fuck
is
a
a
girl.
monologue.
Monologue.
This
Little
is
bit,
not
little
a
bit,
dialogue.
Little bit.
It's a
This is a monologue. I'm
You know
just
what?
listening.
Very, very fair.
Point for Dr. Zay.
Transvestites
very fair.
aren't indicative of,
You know,
of
you're
all men.
You're absolutely
That's
right,
very
Dr.
small
Z. Monologue, and let me shut the fuck
percentage.
up. I'm gonna smack myself to tell me shut the fuck
It's
up.
like the
And I wanna
Cavaliers
listen.
playing the Bobcats.
You bring
You're
up
right.
this
Go.
transvestite
I'm
thing.
sorry. I'm very sorry.
You bring up the transvestite
He's
thing.
saying that women that women don't want to be women, that it sucks being women, that it's so great to be a guy. So I'm asking you why then all of the 99% of hundreds of thousands transsexuals and transvestites are male to female.
That's because in 2023 and in the modern world, women get better treatment than men. That's why. So all of these guys, they're losers as men. And so they change to women. Because women get better treatment no matter what. Even if you're not even a girl. But anyway, that's why. They're for cultural reasons. And I'm sure that in cultures where it was the other way around, it would be the other way around. But of course, we don't really have much data on this. But that would be my assumption. My assumption would be women are just treated better. So men are treated so badly, and women are treated like not all people that change their gender do it because they have some kind of disease or not disease, condition that that makes them believe that they're not in the right body. Some people do it out of convenience, right? They do it, you know, I don't like being a guy. I'm treated terribly. I see women are treated well. Let me become a woman. Not everybody, but that's why.
It's guys who want to wear women's clothing, guys who want to make up, guys who want to submit to mistresses and dominatrix. It's all about guys
That's not like
wanting
the
to be
majority of
women.
guys.
It's a huge percentage.
Yeah, it's not the percentage. It's not.
99%
And it's true. It's not the majority of men.
Can't fucking figure out math.
No, but I'm saying that.
You know, 'cause they're fucking retarded.
Why there are no
Actually,
transsexuals
he did
who want to
answer
be
that.
I'm
women?
trying to shut the fuck up, but he
And
just
there
made
are.
a point that you completely didn't acknowledge. He just made a very
It's a
logical
higher percentage than you would
analogy.
think.
Yeah, she actually deflected. She didn't actually answer the question, but she actually answered a question with a question. We'll get to that in a second. Also, on a related note, there have been some women that have changed their gender to a guy in modern times, right? And even one was like, she unalived herself because she saw how much worse men are treated than women, and she couldn't handle it. Because even as an unsuccessful woman, she was treated better than every guy. And she couldn't handle being a guy.
A very high
what he's
percentage.
saying is, who gives a fuck?
that's not guys.
What guy wants to be a transvestite?
Yeah.
We're
Why?
talking about guys who are fucking
guys,
guys
who
who
wanna
want
fuck
to fuck
girls.
women.
And also,
Why? Because you're saying to me that it sucks being a woman and that all women want to be guys. That women
Well, yeah, these points are not even related. And truth be told, the people that want to change gender are a very tiny percentage of the population, very tiny fraction. So you can't even make this argument. It's not a realistic argument because you're not talking about the majority of the population. You're not even talking about like the male population, right? Because a man that changes gender to a woman is not the average man, right? In behavior, for sure.
women hate being women.
I agree with Patrice. You said at one point, you said guys dress up like women because they want to control that thing.
No, they don't want to control that. They want to be that. They don't want to control anything. They want to be. They want to get rid of their dick. They want to become women. They want to dress up. They want to be pretty. They want to be cute little girls.
And they want to be the
because it's
fucky.
empowering. Yeah.
But they're
so
crazy.
why do they want to?
But we're talking about regular dudes.
Can I jump in here?
That's
it
exactly.
is?
Yeah,
Can we
sorry,
talk
yeah.
about regular
Dr.
guys?
Z, how do we
That's
get
right.
ass to mouth going? Little ass to mouth this weekend.
That is
No? Nothing?
that is a question that I've asked myself.
Yeah, it's on a lot of it's on a lot of people's minds.
Have some wipes so you can
think you really want
wipe
that.
it off after you pull it
Yeah.
out of the ass.
It might be good in a
You know-
porno, but
You know what? It's
you
like
don't want that.
you know what is what you know what E. coli is?
Not logical
You know what E.
when it comes to
coli?
regular relationships.
And you know what? It's not
Keep
only
that to porn.
illogical.
Yeah.
That's not
It
marriage
causes
material.
it causes a bad stomach ache. Bad
No.
stomach ache.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you'll get a sick. So just go and wash and then continue if that's what you really want. You can.
You're gonna get a stomach ache.
Yeah,
Stomach
E.
ache.
coli,
Ass to mouth.
guys. E. coli.
Ass
It's
to
not.
mouth will give you a bad stomach.
Okay,
Yeah.
now,
It could.
True,
Is
true.
there any way we can come back to the competition you had with your sister?
Oh, yeah,
Who could get
Back
the
on
most
that.
dicks?
Yeah. Who won?
What do you want to know?
Yeah. First of all, who
won?
won? That's an important part of it.
She did. This was in,
Wow.
back in the USSR in the crazy years.
Don't know how lucky
think
you
in a way
are,
all the
boy.
men won.
Also,
Yeah, a lot of
how many
guys.
guys?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more guys did she have intercourse with than you?
I think after a while it just became, we switched off to something else. It just became.
Virtue signaling. It wasn't me that had a higher end count. It was her. Then if you switch the perspective, it wasn't me that had it. It was her, right? Because girls know that advertising your end count doesn't make you more attractive to men. In fact, it makes you less attractive. But I digress.
Became boring.
It's just, of course, it would.
I
be.
think she probably
By
won
the
by
way, a
about
lot
10.
of girls do want to be men as well. But it's just tough to like put a dick on.
No,
women.
it's not tough. It's actually
not.
just surgically. It's actually
Well,
not
they're
that much
getting there.
tougher.
They're getting there, but it's
not a
actually
lot.
it's easier to lop one off than actually build one.
You'd be surprised.
Look at
They're
the
getting very
lesbians
good.
out there; they're very manly.
Yeah.
But they
Extremely
don't want to be
manly.
necessarily be man. I'm not talking the homosexuals. I'm talking transsexuals. And I'm talking the
off the-
gender
off the
dysphoria.
subject, though.
Gender dysphoria is much higher in males than females.
Right.
In the
Yes, and the reason for that is because men are treated much worse than women in society. So one escape is that. One escape is literally not being a man anymore, right? Just becoming a woman. Not everybody chooses that path, right? But that's one path.
Psychology, and these are facts you can't ignore. So,
I'll tell you why I'm mad.
Yeah, why are you mad, Patrice?
I am mad. I'm just mad, and not at her. It's just like you figure somebody with doctor in front of their name, right, would just be saying something you haven't heard from the average bitch that work at McDonald's. Like you're just saying the same horse shit. It's like it's like, you know, to ask, hey, how do you do ass to mouth? It's the same as how do you fuck her? You know what I mean? It's like once you figure out the control of how to talk a woman out of being like their typical horseshit, it's just getting around their typical bullshit because they don't have a filter. They go from how they feel to coming out their fucking mouth. They never explore how to have an option on how to think. She believes that just because she thinks like a guy, that makes her a guy. Like,
True.
No. Like, when I was getting ready to say doctor, do you realize the fact that you're a doctor doesn't make you more attractive than if you fucking was the woman?
no, it
doctor?
does
That's
make me
right.
more attractive.
That's right.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make you more
I'm
attractive to
telling
you.
It doesn't.
No, it makes men more attractive to women. It doesn't make women more attractive to men. Because men and women are different. They're not attracted to the same thing. Youth, fertility, beauty, these are the main attractors. And then, for women to be unattractive, they have to be masculine, right? So, this is what men want, okay? Fit, feminine, cooperative, bedroom fun, loyal, and submissive, right? This is what women need to be. To be maximally attractive to a guy. And yeah, included in fit is youth, right? Like, 18 to 23. If they're past that, then they're past their prime. If they're 35 plus, they're way past their prime. It's called a wall. When women are no longer able to attract the kind of guys they used to when they were in their early 20s. So it goes.
Because you are into skanky women who are
No.
How about this?
No.
doctors,
Let me give
but
you-
there's plenty of guys to whom it does make me more.
There's plenty of skanky women doctors, including the current one that's talking.
An example that Patrice brought up. I'll give you an example of a point he brought up. You take a plumber. Just a guy is a plumber, average-looking guy. He walks up, and he tries to get into, I don't know, some Hollywood starlet's pants at some party. He's lucky enough to somehow get his way in there. He's not getting near her.
No chance.
If he talks to her for 2 seconds, he's being driven away.
Yep.
It ain't gonna work.
No chance.
You put the shoe on the other foot where some girl comes in, attractive looking, doesn't have to be the best looking girl in the world, can absolutely hook up with a rock star.
Yep.
Or George Clooney or
Yep.
any other guy.
Yep.
Because for no other reason than she has a vagina that
No.
the guy wants
Accurate.
to get into.
Yes.
Well, and then she's hot.
Because what?
Absolutely
What
true.
Halle Berry ends up with this movie star. I mean, a movie star Halle Berry ends up with some model, some guy who.
Yeah, that's because Halle Berry was married previously and divorced, and when she's past the wall, then the roles reverse. She wants to take the money from the beta, and then get the bedroom fun from the alpha, right? That's what Halle Berry's doing. She already has the provisioning and security guaranteed, so she's gonna keep getting the alpha seed. That's what Halle Berry's doing.
who's nobody but has a cute
A
thing.
model, though. He's a model. He's not a
model.
But
He's
you-
not
but-
a guy that makes money
not a-
for
But
being
do you
attractive.
do you think George Clooney is gonna hook up with just any girl? He's gonna
Yes.
hook up with a
He's gonna
hot girl.
fuck her.
He's gonna.
He is going to marry maybe a more higher, like a woman with higher status, maybe, right? For his own sake. But to sleep with, he'll sleep with a ton of different girls of many social status and so on, and they probably have to sign a contract.
A hot girl, right? You just
Well, it's
answered
the
me.
same way the other
But
way
it doesn't matter.
around.
What-
Halle Berry's
It's
gonna
not.
fuck a guy because
No.
Hold on,
he is
hold
a
on,
model.
hold on.
He
Let
has
me say this.
nothing else to offer to her.
Hold on. the model or the hot girl that George Clooney hooks up with can be a fucking receptionist at a haircutting salon.
True. Yep.
You think it doesn't work the other way around?
The hot guy that Halle Berry hooks up with, he ain't gonna be no fucking guy that works for the telephone company.
Nope.
This is gonna be a model
That's
guy,
right.
Well,
some
so what
fucking
am I? He's
director,
nobody.
producer.
It's
No,
true.
Or
you
some
people come
shit.
all the
Yep.
time with
Because the
good-looking
guy
guys for
needs
nobody.
to have something, and the girl needs to have a pussy.
Absolutely true.
That's Patrice's point.
Why
Yes.
won't you just like admit
you
that?
do have
though?
to back that up. I mean, I talked to
And they never admit it. They never admit it because virtue signaling, right? You gotta, support the hive mind. The women are sugar, spice, and everything nice platoon, right?
guy who's in the office, and you know, like not a terribly attractive guy. You know, he was an out of work actor for a very long time. He said the second that he got on television, as soon as he got on television, he goes, it evened the playing field. I would walk into a room, and it was like being a hot girl. All of a sudden, girls would talk.
So
to me.
what's your point? What's the point?
The point is that the
We're
guy
less shallow. We're
point-
looking for quality.
No, women are not less shallow. They're not. In fact, women are much more shallow. Because they're looking for exactly the bullet point list. 6 foot, 6 inches, 6 pack, 6 figures. And some women are even more picky than that. They want but it's just what's on paper. They could be the worst person in the world. They could be, a serial cheater. They could be, rude to their parents, rude to their friends, be totally antisocial, be a garbage human being. Doesn't matter. They'll take them. They could have arguments every single week. They could fight all the time. It doesn't matter. That's the guy. Shallow.
But
other
no,
than
but
your
no,
looks.
no, the
You
point,
guys
the
only
point that
care
he's
about
making and the
looks.
point that
You don't
Anthony's
care how
making.
dumb a woman is. You don't care if she's like a complete.
There you go. This is the real work. This is girl
But
coming out.
that
There
makes
go.
you
Fucking
shallow
This
guy.
bullshit,
no,
Real
bullshit Dr. Z is disappearing, baby. Good
No,
job,
that's
TJ.
true.
Now wait a second, 'cause now I am gonna come on. Now
That's my
Victoria
point.
Zornak is coming the fuck out, baby.
No, but I'm not getting.
There you go.
But that's
You're
exactly the point.
Good job.
Anthony just said what's true, which is that
a
a guy needs to have external things about him.
Indeed.
He needs to have other things
Yes.
to level the playing
Right.
field.
Absolutely.
All a girl has to do is be attractive.
Yes.
Now, if the guy,
But what
why
is
won't
it-
a girl go?
but-
Why won't a girl go out with a guy who works at the telephone company and is like kind of good looking?
They go
if she's
out
super
all-
hot?
And they don't go out all the time. Well, okay, that's not true. They do. So when women are 18 to 23, they sleep with the guy at the telephone company who's hot. So long as he's Chad, it doesn't matter, right? So long as he has other girls that are interested in him and he's physically attractive. Once they get to 28 plus, then they're looking for a meal ticket. They're looking for a guy to support them, right? They're looking for a guy to pay their bills. But there's more. The minimum bar for Chad goes higher, the higher the woman's status is, right? So, for example, if she's a nurse, she's not going to sleep with some nurse. Unless he's like incredibly attractive. What she's going to do is she's going to sleep with a doctor, right? Or a lawyer or whatever. And she's definitely not going to marry a nurse. She would marry a doctor, a lawyer, etc. The only time she would marry a person on her level is when she's 35 plus. When she's exhausted all of her options. And that's when she'll settle for a guy at her level. But she'll always be disrespectful to that guy.
All the time.
I don't know.
All the time.
I
Do
don't think so.
you
I
want me
got
to
some-
give you
I got
names?
some- I used to
I'll
work-
give you
I-
names
I've
of
been very-
women.
I used to work at Radio Shack. I'll
Can I
give you
just
some
comment?
names.
I'll give you-
Yes.
Hold
on,
Can I
Patrice
just
is
please?
back.
I'll give you- No, wait a minute.
Wait a second. I'm trying. I'm not.
So
No more
far,
monologue.
you've been
No
not,
more-
the low ball insults. That's all you've been doing.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give you names.
This is what I'm talking about.
No.
This is the real
I'm
boiling down
gonna
to be a
give
girl.
you. I'm gonna
What I'm
give you
saying
names
is-
of
what I'm
women
saying
who
is-
ended.
Yeah, disaster. Okay, let's go to the Reddit article. I'm done. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Here we go. I am 27, and he met a girl, also 27, who used to bully me when we were little. Now she's asking me out, and I don't know what to do. I was heavily bullied since the beginning of kindergarten until the end of middle school when I transferred to a different town. My classroom had 15 children, me excluded. Out of these 15, 7 of them used to bully me constantly, and the other 8 simply ignored what was happening. Out of the 7 bullies, 4 did some particularly heavy stuff. I'll call them the B team. While the other 3 did some random lighter things, throwing paper scraps at me, stealing pencils, stuff like that. I'll call them the C team, or the followers. What the B team did to me scarred me for life, and I had to go to therapy. If I met them today, I'd make them pay for everything they did to me. My hatred for the C team is not nearly as big, but it's still vivid. Until last year, I couldn't bring myself to forgive anybody in the classroom, both teachers and students, for doing nothing to help me when the B team was tormenting me. Last year, though, my hatred started to fade following some serious events. When I transferred, I swore to myself I'd never go back to that town or talk to any of them ever again. Despite that, my past has found ways to follow me. I work in a pub, part-time twice a week, and around 6 months ago I met Nina there by chance. Nina was one of the bullies of the C team, and while I've forgiven them now, it doesn't mean I want to have anything to do with her, so I try to stay professional and act as if nothing was wrong. Anyway, physically she hasn't changed much. I mean, she's grown up since middle school, obviously, but I could still recognize her. The same cannot be said for me. In middle school I was fat, white like snow, and I had light brown hair. While now I'm fit, my skin is a bit more pink, and my hair is darkened in the last few years. When some of my friends look at my old photos, they struggle to recognize me. We didn't talk for much as I was working. She initially didn't recognize me, but when one of my colleagues called me to ask something, she connected the dots. Once she recognized me, her demeanor changed drastically and she got out pretty soon. She came back a couple times in the following months and she was quite shy towards me whenever we interacted. A few weeks ago, she got mildly drinking and she started sobbing and ranting about what a crappy person she was in the past and how her life is bad. It was the classic drunken rambling and I didn't pay it much attention. I simply stopped serving her alcohol and gave her some water, but at some point she grabbed my hand while she was talking. I have to say it felt weirdly good. She didn't come back in the following weeks, but a few days ago she texted me on social media, apologizing profusely and suddenly asking me out. At the time I was evidently too stupid or tired to understand cues and I didn't understand what it meant. She asked me out for a coffee and I thought she simply wanted to apologize in person. I realized my mistake yesterday when I talked about it with a friend. Now I'm torn about what I should do. On one side, what Nina did in the past has conditioned me greatly and I can't forget about it. On the other, she really looks apologetic. So guys, notice. 15 treats him like garbage. 27, suddenly, he's got a job. He's more fit. And who's interested now? But if you didn't want me when I was going up, I'm sure as hell, yeah, if you didn't want me in your prime, I'm certainly not going to take you on your decline, right? Because at 27, she's on the decline. 9 upvotes. My advice is not to go out with her. In the last year, with the help of therapy, it sounds like you were able to find peace. Dating her is going to bring up a lot of stuff from the past. It seems like involving unnecessary drama in your life. Sometimes the past should stay the past. And we're going to end the video there. Again, hit that sub, hit all for notifications. Go to my Patreon and support me, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adriana, or Tom M. Shout outs to them. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to the end of the video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.